the Dogs. Happy for all of the newcomers, to this program. There's a bunch. Most of our locker room, of course, and that goes all the way down. Staff, support staff, portal guys, freshmen, walk-ons, but probably most importantly, happy for the guys that decided to come back this year and put forth a lot of effort this fall, and found a way to grind one out. Thought we defended the three well enough. Overcame some adversity there with a valiant effort early second half by Western Carolina. I thought they were tremendous with their fight and poise and resiliency. M.A. Moncrief didn't help us in the second half. He means a lot to us, obviously. Had some guys that didn't quite expect potentially to play this much tonight, namely Jason Holt. Might have been the last guy put in the game, in that rotation. And thought he was fantastic second half with his energy level. Did a lot of things that didn't show up in the box score. And I thought we took a step in the right direction in terms of responding to adversity in a better fashion than we did against Georgia College. I thought that we, mainly on the defensive end, just buckled down, stepped up our level of communication, our level of intensity. Probably, 6-8 minutes left and got it going, strung together some stops.
What did you learn about the team just with how they were able to defend off Western Carolina there in those last 7-8 minutes?
It's a competitive group. A lot of the same things. I'm not sure I learned anything new that we haven't talked about before. Got some toughness. It's a group that doesn't mind earning some floor burns, and we did that again tonight. Terry and Justin Hill and M.A. in the first half thought he was really good. Holt, the Jabri, depth, parity. Cario made some timely plays offensively. Just this group's got we got a little fight to us. We've got to have a lot more fight to win these in our league, of course, and we've got to execute better, of course, offensively and defensively. We've got to value the ball at a much higher level. But we're closer defensively. Coming into this one, these guys were third in the country, 3-point attempts, and last year, of course. And it's what they do. They space you a lot of times with 4 shooters, sometimes with 5 shooters. And to only give up 18 3 attempts, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good sign that guys are locked in and they're flying around. We're communicating, we're anticipating, we're rotating, we're doing a lot of good things. Had 4 or 5 very subpar defensive transition possessions, 1 or 2 baseline out of bounds possessions, and you look down and they've got 55. A team that's hard to guard. We're closer there. Got a ways to go offensively.
Mike, they opened the second half on an 18-3 run.
Oof.
What's going through your mind? What was happening there?
You especially with a group with a bunch of new guys, and we're trying to rebound, right, from these returners, of course, from a tough year. And our message as a staff at halftime was what you would expect. It's 20 minutes. We got to get better in the second half. We go in and we watch film at halftime of all the defensive mistakes, made field goals against, fouls that we committed, and let's go out the second 20 and clean it up and be even better. And that certainly wasn't the case. I think, again, credit Western. They got it going. They executed the first 4 or 5 possessions. It seemed like they scored every possession or drew a foul. And we were a step slow early second half, and we've got to find a way as a staff to do a better job of delivering that message or a similar message that might resonate better. We weren't the same early second half. Maybe a lot of this is trial and error. This was game 1. Maybe it's the warm up. Maybe it's too much film. Maybe it's too much talking, not enough talking. But we'll figure this group out because the starts of second halves are really important.
Mike, what was the thinking of starting Frank and bringing Braylon off the bench?
Frank just earned it, you know, this team, again, has got some depth and some parity, of course, and Braylon might start every other game, I don't know. He might not start. That's up to Frank and Braylon based on production and practice. Frank's been really good. Frank did some really good things tonight, other than the foul trouble that we've got to clean up. And in his defense, he hasn't logged many minutes, you know, throughout his career, other than very, very late last year. But Braylon did some good things too. Braylon almost had a really good offensive game. You know, he had some that rolled around the rim and didn't quite fall for him. But they're two very different players that complement each other well. And both of them, I think, will have their nights. And I'm sure it'll vary, you know, throughout the season.
You got Terry back tonight, obviously.
Yeah.
The last 7-8 minutes, it looked like the energy he was bringing kind of helped spark that little.
He's a tough,
Deal a little
competitive dude. You know, he gets his hands on basketballs. He's got a knack for getting loose balls, for creating loose balls, tipping passes. Can really move laterally. He's a high-level defender. That he's going to help us offensively as well. He's our best passer. I thought they did a pretty good job of defending his ball screens, and we had, you know, a few that were illegal ball screens. We got to clean a bunch of stuff up, but it means a lot to Terry's teammates to have him back. It means a lot to me and our staff as well. He's a wonderful young man that has had a really good fall.
You mentioned not having MA in the second half. Did he get banged up late in the first, or what happened there?
I was told an ankle, and I didn't see it in the first half. I don't know when it happened, but I guess it tightened up on him at halftime. Thought he had a really good first half. Plays as hard as anyone on our team, of course. So look forward to getting him back healthy.
Time for about 2 more questions.
Chiron had a pretty remarkable block shot around the year. Like, okay,
Yeah.
he's the top 100. What do you think you saw of the freshman in the first game, and what's he moving towards now?
Yeah, he came off his probably his best practice or outing period was against Georgia College. He was really good, especially late. You know, he finished that game, and he probably could have thrown him back out there again. It seems like he didn't play a lot late this game as we were stringing together some stops, and we had a group out there. As I told our guys, like, again, with Jason Holt and those 4 guys with him, outside of, I guess, there was a substitution there with Terry and Justin, just trying to keep those guys fresh. We were stringing together stops, and we had a lead, and that's, you know, if you're part of one of those groups and you earn that, you know, that might be the case. But with Chiron, he's got a knack for scoring. He can really move his feet for his size. He's very versatile. He's ambidextrous. He's a good player. He's a talented guy that is getting better.
You've mentioned a lot of guys that came off the bench. 4 guys from that group played 20-plus minutes, 25 points from the group.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about this team that you feel comfortable to go 10, 11 deep like you did tonight?
Well, I'm not sure it'll always be the case. I went into this one as a staff. We thought if we were in a good rhythm mid first half, there's a potential we could get to 11. And I'm open with our guys about that. But definitely wanted to play 10 in the first half if we could. I don't know that we'll consistently play 11 with an injury. Stuff like this happens. And then you've got the JI scenario, you know, so by January, are we playing 9, are we playing 10, 11, 12? I just don't know. Whatever we feel like gives us the best chance to be competitive in our league. And what I continue to tell our guys, you know, I guess what it shows our guys is that I say we as a staff, we don't care who plays, who starts, who finishes. We're just obviously just trying to win, you know. We're trying to grow, we're trying to develop, and you know, you see certain guys down here with 10 minutes or 17 minutes. Those in our next one they might play 25, just based on how we're playing. As we have a larger sample size, right? Guys like Cario, he has a bigger sample size, and sometimes he gets maybe a little bit more benefit of the doubt because he's sprayed us for 20-something before. I've been on the opposite end of that. You know, but some of these guys you're learning about every day. We've had one real game with a bunch of new guys and returners who I'm coaching for the first time. So we're a ways away from figuring out who's going to play the majority of the minutes and roles being completely defined, of course.
But you got Wake Forest and Steve Forbes Friday night.
There you go.
So what happened?
Thanks for the reminder.
So
I'm gonna
what-
enjoy my pizza tonight.
I was just gonna say, what, between now and then, like
Oof.
you said, there's a lot, but
Yeah.
what jumps out as a priority or
Offensively, valuing the basketball. Defensively, fouls, transition. You know, Forbes is always gonna run good stuff, and he's gonna put us in situations, you know, with ball screens and isolations, and they're gonna play up-tempo when they can, and they're gonna guard us, they're gonna be prepared. I mean, it's an ACC road game in game 2. So, not ideal, but an opportunity at the same time, you know. They're playing us early too, so it's part of scheduling. We get a home and home with those guys, and we'll find out really soon exactly where we're at against our level competition.
Thanks,